Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brett, and I'm the Director of Children and Youth here at Open Door. And so today we're going to be talking about Psalms 1, and I thought it would just be a good idea to just revisit the beginning of Psalms as we're about to finish the Psalms in our devotions. So some background on Psalms 1 is that it's known as a gateway to the Psalms. It's known as an introduction. So it just kind of puts readers in the right mindset as they go through the rest of the Psalms. And the other thing is Psalms 1 is a wisdom psalm. And what that means is that it has features that appear in wisdom literature, like Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. And it clearly shows this wise path and this wicked path. And so I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then we're just going to break it down verse by verse. Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. Not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to destruction. And so we see in the first three verses, it's kind of describing what the righteous are like. And then it goes on and talks about what the wicked are like. And then the last verse kind of summarizes all of it together. And so the first verse talks about how the righteous, the wise, are not associated with the path that the wicked are on. And so the wicked path, we see the wise and the righteous and the blessed, they don't walk in the way the wicked do. They don't stand in the way the wicked do, and they don't sit. And so you kind of see this progression of how kind of sin is, and so how you might be first walking by, but then you're standing around in it, and then later you're dwelling among it. And so this downward progression whenever you're on the wicked path. And it also shows that there is a totality of experience. So in all of the way of the wise is completely different, completely separate from the way that the wicked takes. And it is not like it at all. And then in verse 2, it talks about what the wise path is like. And they delight in the law of the Lord, and they meditate on it day and night. And so law of the Lord right here just means God's instruction, his word. And so rather than being in community and in connection with the wicked, the wise choose to be in community and connection with God and his word. And that's what they're rooted in. And this flows right into verse 3, where it describes them as a person planted by streams of water. And the cool thing about this is that no matter what season, whether it's great weather or whether it's drought, this tree has a source of life. And just like those who are wise, who are planted in God's word, have a source of life, no matter the circumstances that are going on. And this tree is alive. This tree is rooted, and this tree is bearing fruit, and it's beneficial to those around it. And then we see that the wicked path is the exact opposite. They're like the chaff, and that's the husk on wheat. When you harvest it, they normally throw up the wheat, and the wind blows away all the husk. And the husk is dead. It's not alive. And it is easily blown away. It's temporary. And it's no good for the harvest. And it doesn't prosper anyone else. It's the exact opposite of this tree that is bearing fruit and planted by these streams of water. And then verse 5 talks about how the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor the sinners in the assembly of the righteous. And so both earthly and eternally, the wicked can't be in community with God and the righteous. So unjust people can't be a part of justice system. That doesn't make any sense. But then also, at the end of times, they're not going to be able to stand in the judgment. And they'll have to answer for taking the wicked path. And then verse 6 summarizes all this up. The Lord watches over the righteous. He knows the wise path. He cares about those on the wise path. And the Lord knows the wise path because it's the path that he has made. It's one that he trailblazes. He is the one that's righteous, and we're following his path. And it naturally leads to us growing and being strengthened, while the wicked path leads to destruction. So I hope you ask yourself today, what path am I on? And I would encourage you to be rooted in God's word and be like a tree planted by streams of water and in community and connection with God rather than being on the wicked path. Thanks. Have a good day.